became like lots of blood. Again, way too much information. But like when you go and taking a shit.
Oh,
And
okay. Now I'm following.
Yeah, and you can't see your shit, and all you can see is blood. You're like, all right, something's wrong.
Oh.
Hey, Brad.
Welcome to Uneducated Blokes, I say.
Is that the intro?
I mean, that could be the start of it, if you want it to be.
What's going on?
Heaps, mate.
Heaps, tell me.
Well, just trying to sort this stuff out.
This is hard.
This is an interesting venture, isn't it?
This was very, very hard to set up, actually.
So it's like
a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be.
They don't tell you on the web.
1, 2, 3 cameras, 2 microphones, laptop. Nothing talks to each other. Nothing works easily.
Never works. You've got to be like tech guru, which we are.
You wanted to discuss a topic?
Yeah, we're going to talk about you.
No, we're going to talk about left hand versus right hand.
Oh, well, I think it's like a stranger with your left, but it's up to the people.
Whoa. Diving straight into that. Are you left-handed?
No, right-handed.
You're right-handed.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm right-handed.
So left.
So we're completely uneducated when it comes to left hands.
It's like a stranger.
So we booked a trip to Bali. You're coming.
Yes. It's been a heartache trying to sort that out on my end.
Did you change your flights?
Yes.
Why are you changing flights?
Because the missus said, "What's the point of leaving on a Sunday? And not a Friday."
Yeah.
So changed it. It's all done. Gone for it's 8 days now.
Is it 8 days?
No,
it's
it'd
6.
be like 6 days.
6 days.
That's not bad. But you're going for way longer.
Yeah, we're off 20 days. 20
Well,
days. So we leave on the 3rd.
Yeah.
And then we get back on the 24th. Because our flight is on the 23rd. But then it's on like midnight. So we come back the next day.
Yeah, right.
So that is good. That's good. What's the goal with this podcast? What are we trying to achieve?
Well, just trying to have a conversation. Just chill out. You know, we're not here to make any brand deals, I guess.
Could be nice. Like if anyone's watching out there, if I can get a brand deal.
But we're gonna like the brand.
Yeah, true.
Like most people say. But
yeah,
hey, it is what it is.
Excellent. Just move forward. The audio's not picking everything up. There we go.
Or do I move the table forward?
Nah.
Is it alright now?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Hope you guys can hear
Look at
me.
the graphs. So your graph's down at the bottom. I'm at the top.
You're at the top. Well, mine's not good enough, is it? Not as of quality.
There we go.
But what I really want to talk about is, you know, what your life has been up to this point. You know, you've had a few years of all different, a range of things. We've spoken in the past about, you know, where you came from after school and where you are now. It's like pretty next level. So a lot of experiences. So you're on a tour. So what did you do straight out of school?
So straight out of high school, left high school in year 10. Wasn't feeling it. Wasn't for me. I'd like to say it was my own decision to leave, but it wasn't.
Really?
I got asked to leave school.
Asked to leave?
Yep.
Who? What, the teachers and all that?
Yeah, the principal. I was a bit of a shit kid.
The principal's office.
Hey?
You're in the principal's office a lot.
All
mate.
the time. That's where I spend most of my learning, in there.
All my learning.
So I left high school in year 10 and then went to a place called the Australian Technical College. It's changed now. But what it basically is you go there and all of your studies are based around what you want to pursue as a career. So they had electrician, plumber, carpenter, chef, and I think that was it at the time. I think they have more options now. But I went into hospitality, so to become a chef. So I left school, went to the technical college, and all of my studies were based around being a chef. So all of the subjects, so like science, math, everything like that was just based around the topic of being a chef, if that makes sense. So a lot of time spent in kitchen, a lot of time reviewing, a lot of experiments, a lot of different things, which is quite cool. It's an awesome way to learn.
It's very practical. It's probably the way you would have learned best, or you learn best.
Yeah, exactly. In high school,
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in anything.
Really?
Any of the subjects. I wasn't interested in it. And I know society would tell you that you've got to go to school and you've got to complete school, and you know, we all do things that we don't want to do, and blah blah. How many times have you heard that?
Yeah.
But it just didn't resonate with me, and I just couldn't learn. So when I went to the technical college and I really wanted to learn about something, it's best in the class, because it had all my attention.
And it was less about memorizing or writing things down. It was more about learning something practical and then trying to perform it again.
Yeah. And because I wanted to do it, I wanted to learn.
Yeah. Makes it a lot different.
Oh, it was a huge difference.
Yeah.
It was a huge difference. So I think I was there for about a year before I got an apprenticeship.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Get an apprenticeship
first
pretty
one out
quick.
of the class to get an apprenticeship.
First one?
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Why were you the first one? Why didn't someone else do it? They were
I'm
more often.
not sure. I think what I was like as a chef, I was way more out of the box for a lot. Like what? Let me say that again. What I was like and the way I was portraying my food and even my presentation was a lot different to the other kids in the class. So, for example, we had not a project, but we had to go and make a fruit salad, for example.
Yeah.
And you got based on your presentation. So everyone was, pulling bowls or getting different shaped bowls or plates even or anything like that. But I put mine in a glass. Put mine in like a tall champagne glass.
Yeah, right.
And just cut it up
fruit.
nice and...
You had no fruit in there. It's like a high-end restaurant.
Yeah.
You get paid for nothing.
Exactly right. And mine was the only one in the glass. So things like that just allowed me to get noticed a little bit more, I think. And being a technical college like that, you have a lot of potential employers come around and look at all the students, because that's where they go to take you to give you an apprenticeship. That's where they go to get their talent, I guess. So I was there for about a year and got an apprenticeship.
And where did you get the apprenticeship?
It was a little
local cafe.
Yeah, a little family-owned Italian cafe.
Oh, yeah.
I say little, but it was pretty big. Like, we seated about 150 people, so it wasn't too. It's a little bit bigger than your regular cafe.
Yeah.
But all authentic Italian food. Everything from like standard cafe food, like your standard chips and schnitzels and stuff like that, all the way to dinner time, and you get like your fancy Italian meals like your osso buco and all that kind of stuff. So all the ragus and just making all your pasta from scratch with nonna, and it was cool. It was really, really cool.
From scratch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I went there, loved it to start off with. Obviously, that's what I wanted to pursue as a career.
Yeah.
So when I got the apprenticeship, I was over the moon. And yeah, I did that. And yeah, and then just sort of left that as well and changed the direction again.
So how long were you in? So you finished your apprenticeship?
No.
How many years did you do that?
Yeah, did 3 years.
Oh my! You waited all 3 years and you didn't even get a card to say that.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah,
it.
this is something that I used to do all the time as a kid. I actually undertook 2 apprenticeships. I didn't finish either of them. Yeah, looking back at it now, even if I was to finish it, I wouldn't be going back in the industry.
Nah, it's not worth.
It's not worth it for me.
For you, it wasn't your lifestyle that you wanted. What you wanted to fulfill and stuff like that. So after apprenticeship, you then moved on to another job, obviously. Was it in hospitality again?
No,
No.
completely different.
Oh my god.
Completely different. So left the hospitality industry and I went into mechanical fitting.
Mechanical.
Yeah, mechanical fitting. So we used to make transport vehicles for the Defence Force. So they could transport all their tanks, armor tanks and stuff. We would actually make the truck. That was a good job.
Oh really?
You learn a lot of life skills in that job for sure. But again, it didn't sit with me.
How long did you do that for then?
2.5 years.
So they were what, 5.5 years out of school,
Yep.
and you've done 2 apprenticeships and you haven't even finished one of them.
Yep.
How did you feel after your second apprenticeship? What did you... And then you moved on to another job. What was that? A forklift job, eh?
Yep.
It's all over the joint, eh?
I think it just goes to show you my mindset.
Yeah.
Back
What do you
then.
reckon your mindset was back then?
I had no clue.
You had no clue.
I had no
you
idea
wanted.
what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
who I was as a person. I had no idea. And I think that's reflective of my resume.
Reflection of your resume. So you went forklift driving. Obviously, that would have been decent money for the time it was. You know, around you, well, you're on an apprenticeship.
Mm.
You know, apprenticeship wage compared to a forklift driver is like plus $10 more.
Yeah.
You know, that would change everything. So
Yep.
you're getting more income coming in. So how long did you do that for, and what were you doing in that stage?
Forklift driving.
Yeah.
Forklift driving is a qualification, so you can basically take that anywhere. It's one thing that I actually completed and got my forklift license.
Yeah.
So I did that for a few different companies. It wasn't just one company. There was probably would have been five different companies that I did forklift driving. A few of them were glass. It's like forklift driving, and like your goods that you were moving around was glass. Another one was like wine bottles. The other one was just like your general goods, like pallets and stuff like that. And then the other one, the most recent one, was it? No. Another one was like hair care products.
Oh yeah.
Hair Care
Yeah,
Australia.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. And actually moved from just a regular forklift driver, pick and packer, to a warehouse manager.
That's right.
For part of their company.
Manager.
So it sort of went a little bit more responsibility in that side, which was cool. And then that was the time of life where everything changed.
Everything changed.
Yeah, that's when I got really sick.
Yes, autoimmune and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That changed a lot of...
I didn't know this podcast was going to be all about me.
Well, wouldn't get to me after, alright? Don't you worry. My story is just as magical as yours.
Okay, I look forward to it.
You've got to wait for it. But autoimmune disease, and you were knocked out for about a year. Or was it about 6 months?
In total, it would have been a year's process.
So what started it? The autumn. What was the sign for you that started it? And then what was the outcome from it now, living with it, if you still live with it? So tell us about that.
Okay, so the first sort of times that I noticed there's something wrong, and this is probably too much information, but massive gut aches.
Yeah.
Anything that you would eat or that I ate, I just couldn't digest at all.
Oh, right.
But couple that with like crippling cramps, like stomach cramps.
So you actually had your man period.
Yeah, for a very long time. Very long time.
No week like the women.
No.
Men have it worse, apparently.
Men have it way worse. So that was the biggest sign that I was like, fuck, something's wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
So went to hospital. Well, actually, I think I rang my dad first. And obviously he's like, all right, it's time to go to hospital. So I went to hospital, and they said they didn't actually know what was wrong because I presented with so many different symptoms.
Yeah.
So obviously I had like the blood, stomach cramps. I was changing colour throughout my whole body. So I was going jaundice. I was going super yellow. But along with that, I had rheumatoid arthritis. So I had arthritis through my whole body. And that would migrate from joint to joint within 24 hours. So like one morning be left ankle, left knee. Next morning be left ankle, left knee, right elbow. Like it would just migrate. Every day it would be something different.
Yeah.
A solid 8 months of every day that I was just in pain. Every day.
8 months. And then you spend a lot of time in hospital.
Yeah,
well.
so spent 2.5 months in hospital for them to try to figure out what was going on. Because they treat me for one thing, it wouldn't be that, get worse. I feel like I was on an episode of House.
Really?
It was a joke.
So it took them about 2 months to figure out what was going on with you.
Yep.
What is the treatment? What made you like feel better in the long run?
So their treatment at the time, I think it's changed now.
Yeah.
Was basically a whole bunch of steroids to control the inflammation in the gut, just to try to calm everything down, as well as trying to treat the cause.
Okay.
So I was on a pretty heavy dose of steroids that they don't actually prescribe anymore because it's dangerous. And then I was on...
Dangerous how?
Dangerous for your life, your body. Like the steroids that I was on, they're a short period type of steroid. You're only meant to be on them for a very short amount of time. I was on them for 8 months.
8 months?
Yeah, 8 months.
How much is a short time though? Like
a month.
Oh, 8 months.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I was on for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Because it was the only thing that was working. It was the only thing that was controlling all the information.
Yeah.
But all the side effects of it were crazy. It was like translucent skin.
Translucent skin?
Yeah, so your skin would be see-through.
Did you experience that?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? On your arms?
All arms, my back. Yeah. I'd drive home from work and I'd scratch my back on the seat.
Yeah.
And I'd get home and I'd take my shirt off and there'd be like no skin. My whole back would just be covered in blood.
What the?
Yeah, like super frail skin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Massive weight gain. So I blew out to about 120 kilos.
Jeez.
And none of that was muscle. None of it.
None of it.
So super, super unhealthy.
So it wasn't a typical steroid. Yeah.
I was on 13 different types of medication per day.
And at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like you feel like an old person.
It fucked with my head. Yeah, I had my own little pillbox. My own little 7-day pillbox.
And it's a big chunk each day.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I had a handful of Skittles and just down.
Oh,
it's gross. And then I did that for a while and then I just had enough. So I found a really good doctor.
Yep.
Who actually listened to me and what I wanted and what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he just explained to me that what I wanted and how I wanted to go about feeling better wasn't the best way.
Oh, okay.
But he would support it.
Yeah.
So my way was basically just throwing my hands up in the air and grabbing all my medication, throwing it in the bin, and just eating clean.
Yeah, right.
And he said eating clean part is obviously really good, but just going cold turkey off of medication is probably not the best thing.
cold turkey.
that you could do.
You should gradually go down. Oh,
I was
wow.
just sick of it. I was
That's
absolutely
a lot
sick
of
of it.
money thrown out as well, because
Yeah.
the medication's not cheap.
Dude, I was taking like oral medication and enemas and shit. Like, yeah, I was taking everything, and none of it was working.
None of it.
None of it was working. Like, it would work to a point where I could go out in society and have a job, but the quality of life that I had was shit.
Okay.
It was shit. So therefore, it wasn't working to me.
Yeah.
So I just threw it all out. Threw it out. Went vegan.
Vegan.
Yeah, so I went vegan
Oh my god! I can't believe I'm sitting down with vegan burrito.
But I didn't do it for the animals or anything like that. I did it to completely reset my body and to
Okay.
completely reset my immune system and try to promote as much gut health as I possibly could.
So what research made you go vegan? Because you would have researched the hell out of it.
Yeah, I did.
For sure.
I did a lot of research. I did a lot of research, and a lot of it came back to ancestral times and like caveman times.
Okay, yeah.
And while they did eat a lot of meat, they also ate way more. Like a vast majority of their diet was plant-based.
Yeah.
And they lived for a
that's
very,
what-
very, very long time.
Yeah.
The hunter-gatherer type element I would touch on later, but I just wanted to focus on like a plant-based diet for the start. And just try to treat food as a medicine
Yeah.
and see how that would go for me. Because let's face it, the doctors that I had weren't fucking doing their job. So I'm like, all right, I've got to take on the responsibility myself
Yeah, personal responsibility.
and just go and just try. And that was the best thing I did because it worked.
Because yeah, and then you do a lot of research and then to see a lot of food is antioxidants and then nutrient based and what nutrients you want and stuff like that. You would have done a lot of research like certain fruits and stuff like that. So that's why you mostly changed to it. And did you see a positive change?
I saw a positive change within my gut health
Oh wow, yeah,
nearly instantly.
instantly.
Yeah, I would say within a week,
Okay,
I saw a massive change.
yeah,
Massive change. And when you're talking about your gut biome and things like that, it takes about 21 days before you see a change. But mine was that jacked up. Within a week, I saw massive changes.
Yeah.
Massive changes.
better flow, better energy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
as
had
well.
way more energy.
Yeah.
I had no pain. I had no bloating. My bowel movements were normal. There was no blood.
Yeah,
Like nothing.
yeah,
And I felt normal again.
yeah.
Or tried to get that feeling back again.
And this is while you were doing your warehouse managing job, or just moved on from that when
This was all while doing that job.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you did a lot. It happened a lot. A lot happened during that job. Hey.
Yeah.
And then you started to get better. And then all your symptoms cleared up.
Yep.
And how are you living with it today?
So before we get to that, the doctor that I had,
Oh yeah.
we had regular check-ins. So every 2 weeks I'll have an appointment
Yeah.
to have a checkup.
Yeah.
And then every 3 months I would do a blood test.
Oh, okay.
And that would just make sure we're on the right track.
Yeah.
And that was super helpful. Super helpful. And that led me to today.
Okay.
So it led me to really get to know my body, get to know what I need and what I don't need,
Yeah.
and what my body thrives off of.
Yeah.
And now, so that was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Now?
8 years.
I'm completely in remission. Like, I don't take anything.
Yeah.
I can basically eat what I want now.
Oh, okay. So you're back on the
can
meat.
manage
You're
it.
back on anything you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you find that certain food can flare up some sort of things, or is it just no? You don't notice anything.
Sometimes,
Okay.
but in the same sense, I don't think it's the autoimmune disease either.
Oh, okay. It could be the actual.
I think
food
it's just the
quality.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the quality of food.
I think if you eat a lot of crap, as quote unquote,
Yeah.
you will feel crap after. Like it's just bound, bloated, lack of energy and stuff like that. It's not nutrient dense.
For sure.
So.
But yeah, then I stopped being vegan because I felt like it had done its job.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I started to see actually a decline of energy, and my mood was going down. I was losing a shitload of weight, not in a good way either.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, my body is now holding on to nutrients better, but I'm not actually feeding it enough. So now I've got to figure out what it needs.
Yeah.
So I went on another
diet, what they say.
No, not even. Just like another plan, like another road.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just going down another road and trying to figure out what worked.
And so you, after the steroids and stuff you were taking, you obviously blew out to about the 120. How many kilos do you reckon you lost with the vegan diet?
I got down to 77.
So you're losing
50 kilos.
just under 50 kilos.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's a lot. And how long was this period? 50 kilos in
8 months.
8 months. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And was it like, your 50 kilos you'll notice on a person, right?
Yeah.
Did skin just go back to normal?
Yeah.
Or was it stretchy?
No.
It was all.
No, I went back to normal. During that time, like I was training.
Okay.
I was actually studying to be a PT during that time of being.
So while you were doing your warehouse.
Yep.
You're doing PT, vegan diet.
Yep.
Going to all these doctors. So you had a bit on.
Yeah, a little bit on my plate. Yeah. Yeah.
So now we go into the PT side.
Yep.
What made you go into the PT?
Oh, I think it's all connected. I think it's all connected. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, it's safe to say that I've done a little bit of research internally about how important food is and fitness is.
Oh yeah.
And I really wanted to help others in that situation. So
in the food and
next best thing was PT.
Yep. That would have changed a lot of things with your life, which it has. And that's how we met, through your passion and your drive, and you want to help others, which we'll touch bases on. But so what made you, so being the vegan and training and stuff like that, that just made you want to do the PT course. What made you link those two? Just wanting to help people? Or was it you can see a way of getting out of the warehousing?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah.
I knew that I didn't want to be in a quote unquote dead end job.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I did see it as a way out for sure, but I also knew that I was pretty passionate about it, and I'm like, all right, let's just go all, let's just go all in with it.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
All in. So you finish your PT, and
I did finish it. Yes.
You did? No way. The one thing that you felt proud to finish as well. I bet. And then, so when did the going to a PT overtake your warehousing job? Did you just say one day, I'm quitting warehousing job and going full TT? Or what was the day that you knew you wanted to make the switch? Yeah.
So 2 months into my PT course, I got a job.
Okay.
I already got a job.
Whereabouts?
At a commercial gym.
Oh, commercial, yeah. Gotcha.
So as soon as I had finished my course, my certificates, I had a job waiting.
Oh, okay.
So I already kind of set that up.
Yeah.
So I knew that once I was qualified, I was done. I was out. I was out of the warehouse game.
Yeah.
I was all in there.
Yeah. And so that's a big financial decision. What were your living situations at that stage?
I was with mum at the time. I was living with mum. And I sort of had a chat to her and told her the road that I wanted to go down. Like any parent, he was, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Rah.
Yeah.
Like, I was leaving a pretty secure job.
For sure.
To a world of unsecurity. Let's just pause, because I think that camera is going to stop.
Pause. Commercial break.
All right, we're back.
Back from the commercial break.
Yep.
All our sponsors were telling us about it.
Mm.
So we finished on PT and telling your mum about how she felt about it and stuff like that. How did that conversation go down? Was it a pretty natural conversation, or was you nervous for that?
No, it was natural for me
Oh, okay.
because I'd already made up my mind, and no one was going to stop me. I would have figured it out. But I think, like I was saying, as a parent, I think there's a little worry. There was a little worry. There was a little concern. I'd already been through a lot, and I'd already gone through a lot of jobs as well.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of concern, which was fair enough. But I knew what I wanted to do, and it was going to work. There was no plan B.
No plan B. So that's what you kind of live a lot of your life on. And when you got to the PT stage, hey.
Yep.
I know we've touched bases about this. So when you got into PT, you weren't planning to go back to your warehousing job. So that made it. You had to work it out. Yeah. No. What are you gonna do? You got to sort it out. You got to make the thing. So you got into this commercial gym.
Yep.
Job lined up, and I know I've done my PT and I've done that little bit of life. What was the rent like? So you had to pay rent?
Yeah, you're paying just over $300 a week.
Yep.
But I actually started in a mentorship.
Oh, okay.
At the start, so my rent was covered. I didn't have to pay rent for a
Okay.
whole year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this mentorship company that I went with, they covered your rent, but they also took a portion. Why? Am I boring you?
No, you're not actually.
What the fuck?
Had a shit night's sleep. Had a shit night's sleep, mate.
Wow.
Wow. No, this is actually interesting because you know why it's interesting?
Why is that?
Because I did my PT course and I got offered a mentorship.
Yeah.
And I said no to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I did that. So the rent was covered, but like I was saying, they took a portion of your pay.
Yeah.
And the
50%
more,
or whatever.
the more sessions you had, the less they took.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they wanted you to get as many sessions as you possibly could, as quickly as you could. So obviously they could cover your rent, and do all that.
So you did the mentorship. How long were you in mentorship? Just a year?
12 months.
Yeah. So, and that was always the deal from the beginning.
Yeah.
Within, let's say, in the 3 months, start to 3 months, how well were you doing?
Pretty
Fine.
good.
You're doing pretty good. Just walked in there and like, I am King Dick, and
I didn't have that attitude.
what attitude did you got? What mindset then?
My mindset was there's no plan B.
Yeah.
So you're all in.
Yeah.
Being a PT, you don't have set hours.
No.
So you make your own hours, which sounds great, but you've got to put in the work. So for myself, I was working 7 days a week.
Okay.
I was working every single day,
Yeah.
and I was doing 14-hour days. And that was a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Everything else can fit in around that.
Yeah.
Because there was no plan B of this. This is going to be my life. This is how I'm going to survive. This has to have my full attention.
Okay.
So in 3 months, I was the busiest trainer at the gym, and I was booked out.
Yeah, right. Booked out is how many sessions?
I had 56 face-to-face.
In 3 months.
Yeah, I had 56 a week
Yeah.
face-to-face and 20 online. So I had 76 sessions a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been a great financing coming in left, right, and centre. Obviously, the mentorship taking a few dollars off your hands.
Mentorship took half.
Half.
Yeah. So I wasn't getting paid anywhere near as what I could be.
Yeah. After the year finished, were you getting all that money?
After the year finished, I was quite tired.
Quite tight.
I was quite tired
Yeah.
doing that many sessions.
Okay.
So I backed off a little bit. I upped my prices and then I handed off some sessions to some other trainers
Yeah.
that were there. Just so I could free up some time for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Work more around, you can have your proper night's sleep. You can
Yeah.
have this and that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yep.
See, that's a lot of mentality do you still bring that mentality into what you're doing today with, your ventures that you're trying to do as well? Or is it kind of died off a little bit, that mentality? Because it seems like it died off after a year.
Yeah,
Of
it didn't.
all in.
It didn't die. It just
No.
I was just established,
Yeah.
and then I started thinking, okay, what's next?
Okay.
What am I going to do next?
Yeah.
So then after the year, I actually became a head coach within the mentorship.
Oh, okay.
So I now covering my own rent
Yeah.
and taking all of my pay,
Yeah.
and I was actually mentoring the new PTs
Okay.
that were coming into the gym. So
And
that was the next thing for me.
And say you back down to, what was it? You went from 56 plus 20
Yeah.
online bound to
I went to 40 and 20.
40 and 20.
Yeah.
So 60 sessions a week. How many sessions did that mentorship take up? Did that take up the extra 16
What do you mean?
sessions, like, of your time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you at the gym more?
Yeah, way more.
Way more with coaching
Yeah.
as a mentorship?
Yeah.
As a mentor?
And there was way more work.
Way more work.
There was way more work too. Like the time that I freed up getting rid of the other sessions was taken to do.
Far out.
Yeah, there's way more to do. And I wasn't getting paid as much
Yeah.
as what I was doing before.
Just PT.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was getting paid less and I had less time.
And you had less time. So your freedom, your time and stuff like that was
Yeah, it was
another...
non-existent.
How many years was that?
That wasn't long actually because I stopped it. So that's probably only 6 months.
Oh, okay.
I
you
did
didn't
that
do it
for.
So about a year and a half you had no time.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
No time. Relationships failed because there's no time.
Yeah.
And like your identity is work.
His work, yeah. You didn't
That's
have no social life,
No.
no relationships out of work. Like, makes it hard even you're working 7 days a week. So you didn't have no weekend or day off.
Yeah.
If you're sick, you're in the gym and stuff like that. This was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And then you moved on to starting your own business after that.
Yeah. So long
PT
story.
is their own business.
Yeah,
but-
PT is your own business, but so long story short, I did meet someone through the industry.
Yeah.
So we had a lot in common. Our schedules were the same.
Flat.
She had no plan B either, so she was there all the time,
Okay.
which was cool. So and we just connected on a much deeper level. It wasn't superficial at all. It wasn't all surface. It was quite deep.
Yeah.
And I was able to have some pretty real and open conversations with another human being that I hadn't had ever.
So, and that brings you into another topic, is like connection and then finding separation between work and
Yeah.
life. So you had to find that as well, for sure. So that was a learning curve for you.
Yeah, massive.
They came in, find someone. How did that change the dynamic of the way you coach in the gym, having someone else?
Well, when we started getting serious,
Yeah.
we actually combined our two businesses.
Oh, so both your PT businesses were combined.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So when we actually were running one-on-one sessions,
Okay.
we'd be running them at the same time. So it'd always be like a group session. It'd be a small group session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we thought, all of our clients are getting along. They really like us training them together.
Okay.
This could be something.
Yeah.
And then that's when other things happened as well, yeah.
Yeah. So that's when you started. Well, that's group fitness, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you started that at the commercial gym.
Yep.
And then we move into that developed even more, and then you get more people coming along and stuff like that. How many people did you have coming to these group classes in the commercial gym, in the commercial space?
So the biggest class we had was the weekend.
Yeah.
Was the Saturday, and in the commercial space we would have had at least 20.
Oh wow! And what, in a space of
probably 30 square meters.
No one can move around. They're trying to do a lift, and
yeah, it was very crowded.
Yeah,
it was very crowded. Lots of complaints.
Lots of complaints.
Yeah, like other members from the gym.
Oh, okay.
Would just complain all the time, like they're too busy.
Taking all the space.
Taking all the space. Yeah.
And then we move into you got out of the commercial gym space and you rented or leased your own place.
Yeah, so we took a pretty big step.
Yeah.
Of moving out of the commercial gym and going into a commercial lease to start our own gym.
Yeah.
So that was the next thing that we did.
And that's how we actually met.
Yeah.
You took over another gym owner and you brought yourself into it. You bought all the gear and stuff like that. So you had all the gear.
And
no idea. Clearly. And then you just brought in your expertise. Also with your PT as well, you had all different qualities, different, what do you call it? You went out and learnt more. You weren't just a PT.
No.
So what else did you learn to get you into the business side, into the space that you had?
As far as like, how did we self-educate to go into the gym?
Yeah.
To owning our own gym?
Yeah.
We didn't do a lot.
Really? I thought you had a few.
Yeah, we did other courses and we did other certificates and things like that, but there's no prerequisite of a minimum educational level to own a gym.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can go out and buy a gym if you want.
Yeah, true.
Like, you don't need a prerequisite. We did do other study, like we did some ASCA and some CrossFit courses and things like that, and just some more like, I was really getting really interested in like prehab and fascia and manipulation of the body and going through all that. So I was really getting into that. So did a few courses around that. But as far as what did we do to get into the gym? Nothing. Like we didn't do anything. We just had a large business in a commercial gym that we needed to move.
Yeah.
And it was just a good opportunity at the time. A business was up for sale, and we just jumped on it.
Yeah, and that came with all the members.
Yeah, it came with more members, and yeah.
Drop the thing.
Done.